What do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
So I've been kind of avoiding doing reviews on Marvel products as of late, especially like MCU products, because they've all been really disappointing. And honestly, in my opinion, the MCU was kind of over with Endgame, and then you had a couple of things like the 2 Spider-Man movies, and that's really about it, because everything else has been very poor quality. Now, I take that back. I enjoyed Shang-Chi. I thought Shang-Chi was fun. I thought it was a lot better than a lot of people were bombing it, or not bombing it, but like just ragging on it for. I know it's widely considered terrible amongst the more evil of the fan base, but no, I had a fun time with Shang-Chi. Just if they had just put a little bit more blood in it, I think it would have been a perfectly fine MCU movie. I was fine with the music and whatnot, but I didn't do a review on that because time, and secondly, people would have been wondering why did I do a review on that but not a review of Loki or Hawkeye or Moon Knight or the Eternals. And honestly, it's like, in my mind, they were all garbage. I mean, okay, that's a little harsh on Moon Knight. There was potential with Moon Knight, but there was also some really poorly done aspects to Moon Knight. Honestly, just a little bit of editing, a little bit more development on some characters. Moon Knight would have been awesome, but just there were some elements to Moon Knight that didn't work for me. There were elements that really worked for me. I loved Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight, but you know, it's just like I decided, nah, I'm not going to review it. Loki was a complete shit show. Funny story, I actually started working on a Loki review. I recorded, but it's literally just 40 minutes of me trashing almost every aspect of that show, and I thought, nah, this is a bit too negative for me. And so, yeah, I just never released that. And I mean, like, one day I should go into the details of why Loki is such a terrible show. Like, just truly terrible. And one of the reasons why it's terrible is because it had such potential, and they, like, ruined almost all of it. And no, it's not because Sylvie was in it. Sylvie was one of the things that could have potentially been amazing, and they squandered it. The creators behind that show had absolutely no fucking idea what they were doing creatively or legitimately. And so, if you enjoy Loki, that's great. Power to you, but I know your taste isn't that great. No offense. But anyway, so I just got done watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I thought, I don't really want to do this video because it's just going to be negative. I did not enjoy this movie. I had serious problems with it, and I did not like Doctor Strange for very specific reasons that I will get to now.
It doesn't seem fair.
And so there was a period of time I was really looking forward to this movie. I thought after Spider-Man No Way Home, I saw the like little teaser trailer they had after the credits. It's like, okay, that honestly looks pretty good. And then the trailer came out, and it's like, okay, I'm genuinely getting excited for this. And it was a few weeks before it came out. Some of the early reviews were coming out, and someone said, yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is basically the continuation of WandaVision. Yeah, I immediately canceled my pre-order ticket. I actually didn't get one, but I was about to get one. It's just like, nope. WandaVision is one of the worst television shows I have ever seen. Not worst Marvel shows. worst television shows I have ever seen. The writing is dog shit. Most of the acting is dog shit. The effects are dog shit. That is a terrible show. I'm sorry if you like it. You will taste this up your ass. I apologize if that's an insult to you. That is a terrible show. And so when someone said that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a continuation of WandaVision, I immediately ran for the hills because I was not going to subject myself to that garbage ever again. Which, that's a lie because I watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But that's what I was thinking at the time. And to be fair, this is not as bad as that show. This is not as bad as that show. Admittedly, that is not saying anything at all because that show is like bottom of the barrel, sewage, garbage, dog shit mixed in with human fecal matter and whatnot. I'm being ridiculous and hyperbolic, but that is how much I hate that show. And so when I heard that, I just waited for it to come out on streaming, and I started watching it, and like, for starters, I did not like the wedding at all. I mean, at the end of the first Doctor Strange, they like established that his potential love interest, Christine, saw that Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, was evolving. He was becoming a better person. He wasn't the complete dickhead he was at the beginning of Doctor Strange. Losing his hands kind of gave him some perspective. And so at the end of Doctor Strange, it's like, hey, look, I need to go back to work. Probably not going to see each other for a while, but, you know, I really care about you. And she responded like, yeah, I care about you too. And it's like, okay, so this is like kind of the start of something potentially forming where they have a better relationship. Oh, she's getting married to someone completely else. Oh, okay. What? Like, you started building up that, and like, you had nothing showing that it fell apart again. You had nothing. It was just like, oh yeah, your love of your life is marrying some other guy. Oh, and she invited you to the wedding. What an asshole. And then at the wedding, she asks, are you happy, Steven? It's like, what do you think, bitch? Okay? Like, oh, I'm going to say I'm miserable without you? Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you I'm fine when I'm not. You invited your ex-love to your wedding. What is wrong with you? But so, like, that just kind of was like the start of showing they were not handling things right. And, like, look, there were some really cool elements to this movie. I really thought that. I thought there was some really cool ideas. I liked the scene of him and America going through the different multiverses. And, you know, like, there were some really cool aspects. I like some of the creatures. I like some of the designs. I like the idea of him interacting with alternate versions of himself. That's not a spoiler. They show that in the trailer. But there were aspects that did not work well, and there were elements that I thought were cool that don't work well or were executed well. I'll get into that. One of my big criticisms is America Chavez. Like, I know they're trying to hype her up. It's like, oh, she's one of the most popular Marvel characters we've ever had. Like, who the fuck is this? Like, I've never heard of this character. And I keep hearing people say, oh, she's like one of the most popular, best-selling comic books in the Marvel Comics right now. Marvel Comics isn't selling right now. Like, your best comics only get like 50,000 issues sold a month. So, yeah, Marvel Comics is in the gutter right now. And, like, them say, oh, she's the most popular Marvel comic. Like, honestly, that means nothing to me. But it's not that I'm against this character. It's just hearing everyone say, we need to save America. Oh no, she has America. Oh no, America's in danger. It's like so weird as fuck hearing that. I'm surprised they didn't give her like a shorthand name. Like, yeah, my name's America, but you can call me Amer. You know, I was like, oh, okay, Amer kind of works. Or, you know, some variation of America. Or, I think I heard one person call her Chavez. And so just, that was weird. And then another thing that just tore me out of the experience is every time she opens a portal, I'm sure it's comic book accurate, it's this cute little star that looks like something drawn by a 4-year-old. And it's like, really? That's the best the visual effects department can do is a star? And they never explain that? Like, why is it that her portals open up are a star? That makes no sense. And so it's just... what? And... oh yeah, I love that really fucking cringy line of like, oh, in every universe no one pays for food. It's kind of weird your universe does. It's like... how do you think economics work? How do you think trade works? Like, Now, one thing I will give credit to is a lot of people were saying, this is just a bait and switch. Doctor Strange isn't the main character in this. It's actually Wanda. It's her story. I didn't feel that way. I kind of felt like Doctor Strange was kind of the main character in this. I didn't feel like Wanda was the main character. I'll get more into Wanda in a second. And so I did not feel like this was a bait and switch like Obi-Wan Kenobi was. Obi-Wan Kenobi was such a bait and switch. And this, honestly, I felt like Doctor Strange was kind of the focal point. I mean, obviously, America Chavez is the focal point, but I felt like Doctor Strange, you were getting everything from his perspective. And so you kind of had like a Mad Max Fury Road type thing going on, where in that movie, Furiosa was the main character, but you're getting everything from Max's perspective. And so it kind of... almost you could believe that Furiosa was a side character when in fact she was the main character, but it was kind of neat seeing that perspective from another character instead of the main character. And I kind of got that with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange isn't the main character in this, but you're seeing everything through his view, and so he's still the focal point of the audience in this movie. And so I like that. I felt this wasn't a bait and switch, so props there. Now, I am getting into major spoiler territory here, so from here on out, just go in knowing I'm going to be spoiling shit. If you want to see the movie, I would recommend you go see it now. It's on Disney Plus and whatnot, and so if you want to watch that first before continuing on, then fine. Just know, I did not enjoy this movie. I felt it had some great moments, and I felt it could have been amazing, but it dropped the ball in a couple of spots, and I'm going to get into that now. So, the main villain. I absolutely loved the idea of having Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, as the main villain. I thought that was really cool. The problem was it was not executed well. Like, okay, having a hero that we have seen through numerous movies becoming a villain is a cool concept. I thought, you have something here. You really have something here. But the problem was, there was no build up to that. It was just, last time we saw her, it's like, I'm going to fight for good. And then just next, oh yeah, I'm pure evil now. It's like, when did this happen? Off screen. It's like, oh, okay. And the other thing that hurts this concept is WandaVision. As amazing as this sculpture of having Wanda as the main villain is, this sculpture is covered by shit. And that shit is called WandaVision. This movie loves bringing up WandaVision. Like, look, this is canon. This is canon, guys. Please stop reminding us. Okay? And, like, the whole stupid line, you mess with reality and everyone loves you. I mess with reality and everyone hates me. That doesn't seem fair. It's like, you're comparing two completely separate occasions with each other, okay? Doctor Strange never enslaved an entire town of people and put them through true, pure hell, and then you just acted like you were the victim. He never pulled that shit, okay? Hell, he fucking died for 5 years because of his move. And so, that line isn't the thing that makes this not work. The fact that they don't build up properly her being the villain doesn't work. And then the ending. The ending is terrible. It is so fucking lame. And it is like my jaw dropped at how terrible this ending was. The movie was going all right. Like I was like, yeah, I this could work for me. This can work. I mean, that part kind of sucked. That part, but like overall, this movie's been decent. Oh wait, no, yeah, this sucks. No, never mind. Throw this in with Loki, WandaVision, and I guess throw it in with Eternals. I didn't hate Eternals. It's just like Eternals did nothing for me, and it had way too many continuity errors. But yeah, and so the ending basically, Wanda is about to win, and there's this whole subplot line where like America Chavez keeps getting screwed over and over again, and Wanda's like, you have to screw her over again, and Doctor Strange, he's like, just out of the blue, like, hey, America, you need to believe in yourself. The power's been in you all this time. It's like, oh, okay. And then she fights off WandaVision. Or I keep saying WandaVision. She keeps fighting. No, you know what? I'm going to call her WandaVision now. Because Wanda was back when she was a great character. And now that they fucked up the character, I'm going to call her WandaVision. So that we never forget what moment Wanda was destroyed as a great character. And that was WandaVision. And so America Chavez just beats out WandaVision without like any effort. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. And the thing is, again, in this movie, the power levels, like Marvel keeps fucking up power levels super bad. And in this movie, like the power levels are just all over the place. Like, yeah, at one moment, Wanda is the most powerful entity in all creation and universe, and then like, oh yeah, she can be beaten by a 12-year-old child. Like, what? I mean, this happens constantly throughout all of Phase 4. All right, it was one of the reoccurring problems with What If. It was a massive problem with Loki. It was a problem with this movie as well. And like, Captain Marvel was supposed to be like this indestructible thing, but in this movie, she can be destroyed by a heavy stone. And it's like, what? Why can Captain Marvel be killed now? Like, I don't get that. And like, just the power levels are just all over the place. At one point, Wanda was the most powerful entity in the entire universe, and it's so stupid. Marvel with their disregard for the strength and power of certain characters. Through their logic, Black Widow's the most powerful entity in the entire cosmos because Black Widow defeated Proxima Midnight, which of course Proxima Midnight could defeat Thanos in What If, and Thanos could defeat everyone. So of course, through that logic, Black Widow is the most powerful entity in all of Cosmos, which is stupid. Like, seriously, the writers don't consider like power levels at all, and they do the same thing again with the Illuminati. I'm going to get to the Illuminati in a second, but like the ending, basically America Chavez does this little like punch on Wanda, she falls down, and then she puts her in reality where her kids actually existed. The ones she made up in this reality, well, they never existed in this reality. How does that work? And so in that reality, she like throws the real Wanda mother off to the side, and the kids say, we hate you, we hate you. The same fucking terrible actors from WandaVision, by the way. Terrible cringy scene. And she's like, oh no, what have I done? I've been evil this whole time. I'm going to change. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the ending. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Like, that's how you end it. You didn't even put any effort into it. And so, like, the ending is really bad. And also, the third CGI eye in Doctor Strange is some of the shittiest CGI I have seen in a while. Now, another thing I did like was the attempt at horror. I was really fucking surprised they did not do an Ash cameo in this because Sam Raimi directed this, and of course Bruce Campbell does do a cameo, but like honestly, this felt like the perfect time to have Ash Williams just like kind of floating in the background through the multiverse, like screaming, you know, as Doctor Strange is like in this like nexus. Like honestly, that would have been perfect. Fans would have loved it. I think maybe Disney didn't want to incorporate the Evil Dead into the MCU because then kids would have to watch a hard R-rated movie then. And like the Evil Dead movies are not for kids, but still it would have been so fucking epic if you just saw like Ash Williams off in the background, like in between the events of Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, like when he was being teleported. Like that would have been awesome. But no, we didn't get that. But I did love the attempt at horror because Sam Raimi, he got to do some like horror scenes, and I got some very Evil Dead vibes, especially towards the end when they started to do a good ending. But it's like, nah, Doctor Strange can't be Wanda. Yeah, I mean, it goes against the rules. You know, the rules where no guy can ever be a woman in a fight scene ever again on film, which is stupid. Alright, it makes every female fight scene with a guy no tension at all anymore. It's like, oh yeah, let me know when she's done with the fight because I know how this is going to end. Like, seriously, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Rey with Star Wars. It wasn't because she was a woman, it's because she never fucking lost a fight. And so you started building a cool ending, it's like, oh wait, yeah, no, we forgot the rules, we gotta put a shitty ending now. And so let's get on to the Illuminati. I liked that they introduced the Illuminati. I remember reading about the Illuminati in comic books. They were crucial to World War Hulk. But they did not handle the Illuminati right in this. Case in point, we finally got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in the Illuminati. And he does a competent job as Mr. Fantastic. The problem is that when he goes up against Wanda, this is supposed to be the world's smartest man, and she destroys one of his friends with like the flick of her fingers. His bright move is to throw a punch at her, and of course he then proceeds to die a very horrible death with the other two people just watching. Like, feel free to step in at any time, Sharon, or whatever your name is, Rambo, Sharon and Rambo, you guys could have stepped in at any time while Reed Richards was getting filleted. But yeah, so it's like, this is supposed to be the world's smartest man, and his bright move was to just throw a punch at the woman that killed his friend right next to him with like a thought. Like, I don't know, I'm not the world's smartest man, and I, like an average person, would have thought, I'm going to step back and maybe try a gun instead of throwing a punch at her. Maybe try some other, you know, rudimentary lathe. I mean, you know, and I'm not even the world's smartest man. And so just like the writing in this was disappointing. And like, yeah, we got to see Professor X, Patrick Stewart's Professor X's, which is cool. But then it's like, he should have been able to defeat Wanda in the mindscape, and she just walks all over him. You know, it's just like the only one that kind of had a satisfying death was Captain Carter, because it's like, it was very brutal, and it's just like, oh no, that actually would work. That sucks, but it doesn't feel cheap like the other deaths. Like, the other deaths just kind of felt cheap in the Illuminati, and Captain Carter's death didn't. It felt like, yeah, that probably would have happened if Captain Carter went up against Wanda Maximoff. I actually would like to see Captain Carter again, as long as she's not fighting, you know, her boss. Like, that was one of my biggest criticisms of the What If episode, is her main villain in that episode wasn't the Red Skull. It was her boss and sexism. It's like, really? That's the best you can do? I mean, I was really looking forward to Captain Carter fighting the Red Skull. And so, you know, like, I'm totally up for seeing him Haley Atwell, I think her name is, doing a Captain Carter movie. It's just, I don't know if they're going to do it though. So, anyway, honestly, this movie had some fun moments, but the first one's way better. It's far more cohesive, and honestly, I wish this one had actually tried to fix some of the problems it had, because the ending, that ending was terrible. And so I cannot recommend Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If you want to see it, go right ahead. But yeah, so that's been my thoughts on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And my name's Christopher Connell with 11 Hour Reviews. And that will unfortunately be all for this.